Hey, what's going on, everybody? Andy Grossman here with Pew Pew Nation, and I had a lot of requests. I did the review a couple days ago on the brand new FN-545, and I had a ton of comments, ton of requests. I honestly appreciate all the love on the video. I do these for education, and I love that my subscriber base understands that and they watch it for that layman's terms education. That's what I do. That's what I'm about. So I did have a ton of requests, though, for a comparison video between the FN-545 and the FNX-45 Tactical, because a lot of people were wondering really what is the main differences, what I thought of both compared to each other. So I happen to own an FNX-45 Tactical. I love this gun. I've shot the shit out of this gun. But the 545, I'm just going to say it right now, is replacing this gun in my regular range, my range bag, I guess, in my range setup. So now, these both are too big for me to carry personally. I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. Like, it's just tough to carry this big of a gun. I mean, they're big. They're big guns, right? I mean, these things both weigh, that's 33 ounces or so for the FNX-45 Tactical. The FN-545 is a little tiny bit lighter at 31 ounces. The FN-545 has a 8.3 inch overall length from tip to butt, pretty much. The FNX-45 is a tiny bit longer. And honestly, I think it's because I don't understand the barrel. I don't know why the barrel has to stick out of the damn slide so far. But I think that's where that length comes in. It's 8.6 overall, so there you go. For whatever reason, they put these 5.3 inch barrels in the FNX-45 Tactical, where they trim that baby down and they put a 4.71 inch barrel in the new 545. So personally, that is a win for me. It's a little bit smaller gun. I'm going to start from the frame up on these things is what I'm going to do, because honestly, one of the biggest differences is in the frame. So with that, we'll start with the mags, to be honest. So you can see the shape of the mag. So this mag here is the FNX-45 Tactical. This is the 545. So you can see the shape of that, especially the base plate. The angle on the 545 makes a huge difference to me, and I'll show you why in a second. These are very straight, Glock-ish, I guess you could say, with how the grip angle is on these things. With the 545, they added that cut in the front and made that an angled base plate, which really, honestly, to me, it assists in reloading. So you can see both these guns are clear. Just show you guys just to make sure. But when you reload this gun, you have that cut on the bottom of the mag there, and that's what I'm talking about. Instead of making that straight like they did on the FNX-45 Tactical, they made that, they did that little cut in the front. And to me, for reloading, that makes a huge difference. So for reloading, I feel that this thing just, you're coming in, let's face it, you're most likely coming in a little bit angle. You're not like straight onto that gun normally if you're trying to reload quick. And that little cut gives you that little tiny bit to be able to do that, to be able to come in a little angled, whatever, not straight on all the time. Where when I pick up the FNX-45 Tactical, I have, with that grip angle, I'm naturally holding the gun and my grip is facing down. If you can see it sticking out right here, it's facing down. So I gotta like literally come up and try to do that with, to me, I feel like it's just a more natural reload. Personally, obviously you can get over that easily by a little bit more training. I don't do a whole lot of quick reloads with either one of these guns because, like I said, I don't really carry them. Maybe in the woods once in a while I'm hunting, but when you go to the rest of the frame, though, there's a big advantage to the 545 in the frame department. I personally don't like the grip angle of the FNX-45 Tactical. It's very straightforward, straight up grip angle. You do have interchangeable back straps, which is obviously nice. You do have those on the 545 as well, which is obviously really, really good. But you have that very straight grip angle on this FNX-45 Tactical. Not a big deal if that's the grip angle you like, but I really like the grip angle of the 509 series gun, which is what we have here in the 545. So that is a very, very big advantage to the 545, honestly. You do still get your ambidextrous controls. You get ambi mag release there. Both sides will release the magazine on both guns, so I can push with my thumb, or I can push with my index finger, or your thumb if you're a southpaw. Same thing with the 545. So you do get that. That's nice. You get slide stops on both sides. The one thing that I've always hated on the FNX-45 is that thumb safety. Now, if a thumb safety is something that's important to you as a shooter, then obviously this might be the better gun for you. Personally, when I shoot, I have a very high grip on my gun. So this is my normal pistol grip when I'm shooting. And what I've done a lot with this gun is I've actually pushed that safety up while I shoot accidentally. And all of a sudden, I have my safety on. What the hell just happened? Well, I don't like that because I'm not a big safety fan on a gun like this at all. So I really don't like that. I get why there's a safety there. This is a hammer-fired gun opposed to a striker-fired. So you do have the double-action, single-action abilities with this guy here, which is why they have that thumb safety as well. That hammer obviously is going to cause you to need a safety if you're carrying outdoors. That's just safer that way, obviously. But I just like the frame better on the 545. It's just, for me as a shooter, that frame feels better. The grip angle feels better. The stippling, they're about the same. You get a little bit less aggressive on the back strap here, which I kind of like, because these little dots actually kind of dig into your hand after you shoot for a while. So you do get that. You still get a rail up front. You still get the threaded barrel, but again, I don't understand why the FNX-45 Tactical has that just ridiculous length to the barrel. There's just, I never understood that. I don't think there's a reason for it, but it's there. It is what it is. Moving up to the slide on this thing. Actually, you know what? We forgot the mags. The mags are both, though, 15 rounds, so you do get the same thing. Mags, I had a question on that too, are not interchangeable. So the 545 does not accept the FNX-45 Tactical, and the FNX-45 Tactical, sorry, does not accept the 545 mags. So I'll clear that up right now, because we did have a lot of questions on that as well. So I just wanted to cover that. Slide-wise, again, I'm going to give the advantage to the 545. As much as I hate the plastic plates, which we talk about all the time on the 545 and the 509 series and all the new FN stuff, the MRD system blows this old system away. It really does. Yes, you get the steel plates that I love, that they're steel plates. It's a very, very tried and true system. I hate that they don't look finished, for one thing. So you can see with an RMR on there, you got all these gaps all over the place. Personally, I don't like the aesthetics of that, but it is what it is. It's functional. But the MRD system blows it away. Let's face it. It's just a way better system on there. The slide itself, you get more aggressive press checks up front that come up over the edges, so they really do act as really nice press checks on this thing. You really get a good sure grip, where these ones end kind of before they come up. There's a little bit of bevel there, and the serrations don't come up over that, so it's a little bit slippier. Like, even, I'm not trying to, but my hand just slides on that slide. It's a lower profile slide for sure. You can see the difference there between these two. It's definitely a lower profile slide on these, or on the FNX-45 Tactical over the 545. And the width overall, you can tell, it's not a whole lot difference, but there is a difference there. The FNX-45 Tactical is wider than the 545. So Another thing there, just size-wise, you get a little bit more mass here. Like I said, it's a 33-ounce pistol over a 31-ounce pistol. Not really noticeable, honestly. I had to look it up to even know that there was a difference. But same sights for the most part. Everything else is really the same on these guns. I mean, the size really isn't that much difference. The 545 is a little bit smaller, just, I guess you could say updated, more aerodynamic, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but it has that more like modern era feel, where the FNX-45 Tactical really has an old school, just put as much mass into the gun as you can and don't worry about aesthetics or ergonomics, really. So that's one thing that I definitely like better about the 545. It just is a lot nicer looking gun. To me, if I had these both sitting on the shelf, that 545 would be going home with me all day long over this FNX-45 Tactical. The other thing is the trigger. So the trigger is a big deal, right? I am a trigger snob myself. Check that these are both clear again, just because I know they are, but always checking safety on Pew Pew Nation. Let's start with this one, the FN 545. It's got the 509 trigger, so it's got that two-piece kind of awkward trigger that we all know and don't really love. You can almost hear the grittiness. You might be able to hear that on camera, honestly. It's a gritty, it's got that nasty grittiness to it. Once you get to that wall, it's got a nice crisp break though, and nice short reset that's a little gritty as well, but not horrible. And then your break again is not bad. You do feel a little grittiness in there. It's not terrible. It's not a good trigger, that's for sure. I mean, my 509, I replaced the trigger right away with the Apex. I am sure Apex or somebody's coming out with a 545 trigger. If the 509 trigger may just work in this gun. I'm not even sure, honestly. It looks the same, so I wouldn't doubt it if the trigger itself actually worked. Now you come over to the FNX-45 Tactical. Now obviously you have single action, double action because it's hammer fired, but here it is. This is your take-up, super smooth, nice steel trigger on this thing. It's not plastic, which I love. Super smooth trigger, really nice break. Reset that slide there, and a little bit longer reset, but not much, but it's extremely smooth. I mean, it feels like it's running on ball bearings. And then that break again. When you obviously bring that thing into single action mode, I call it race mode because, man, you just think about that trigger, it's going to break. So the trigger on the FNX-45 Tactical by far blows the 545 away. And that's really the only department that I can tell you guys that it 100% blows the 545 away is on the FNX-45 Tactical is that trigger. So FN, I really wish you guys would put a better trigger in these damn guns. Although, with that being said, we get to the price point, right? A lot of people were commenting, bitching about the price on this. The MSRP on these things is $1139. Look at my cheat sheet there. $1139 MSRP on the 545, right? A lot of people are bitching, oh, it's a polymer pistol and $1,139 MSRP. You're going to find these things for under $1,000 in stores. Let's face it, right? I mean, that's the MSRP, $1139. Well, when you get over to the FNX-45 Tactical with that way better trigger, but everything else on this gun is superior to, or inferior, I'm sorry, to the 545. You've got an MSRP of $1,379 on this guy. And that's obviously without the RMR that comes with the cover plate and stuff. I just happen to have an RMR on mine, so I didn't want to take it off. So what do you get for, what, $250 more? Well, you get a thumb safety, hammer-fired design if that's important to you. A personally way better trigger. That's a huge thing. This long barrel for some reason. Inferior slide, inferior frame, and inferior optic system. So everything about the 545, the price point, everything, if you can look past that plastic gritty trigger, I would go 545 all day long, honestly. So, but again, it's personal preference. Some people love hammer-fired guns. Some people love striker-fired guns. They're both polymer framed, steel slide, heavy 45 caliber beasts, and you can't go wrong with either one, let's face it. For $250 more or so, the trigger in this thing, I think you could probably, you're going to end up replacing your 545 trigger for probably $100, right? So it's still, you're still ahead buying the 545. Personally, I go 545 all day. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and we'll do some more comparisons like this if you want them. So make sure you guys comment on my other videos. Let me know what you want to see, and a whole lot more coming from Pew Pew Nation in 2023. So hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you stay safe out there and carry every day. Thanks, guys.